Hi everyone, one more time. This is the third time you guys will hear about info about the Chinese market. So I'm Jack and Chris. And today we will introduce to you guys one of the projects that we believe that will be profitable if we put into the Chinese market. We want to sell vitamin that we extracted from Canadian ginseng to the Chinese market. So here's the list of what we're going to do, pretty much the same like the previous two groups. So first we will go with the feature.
So as HealthBridge providing different type of vitamins which is essential for the growth and physical development for their body. So if a person have any deficiency in their body of any vitamin, they can take these vitamins and reduce the deficiency. And these vitamins are chewable and easily soluble in water. These are the vitamins which soluble in water, vitamin B, B2, B3, B8, B12 and vitamin C. And these are the fat soluble vitamins which is vitamin A, E, K and D. So vitamin product contains calcium, phosphorus, potassium, chronic, coppers to reduce disease symptom and remove functional deficiency. And it helps in providing them it strong the immune system too to fight against the diseases. So these are the benefits as it's providing different kinds of vitamins to the body. So for their better health and the wellness. So if you are adding these vitamins and in our regular diet, so it will providing the enough essential vitamins to their body for their regular functions. And it is also essential for the older people because they don't have enough power as they are doing the work in 20s and 40s. So if they are taking these vitamins, they will be helpful for their work, and it will improve the mental functions and memory decline too.
So we can take.
It's also essential for the pregnant women as if they are taking these vitamins, that will help for the newborn baby so that they can take essential vitamins in their body. And these vitamin C and zinc products improve immune function to the diseases. They're providing enough power to the body and strong their immunity system so that they can fight against the diseases and live a healthy life. Thank you.
Okay, so just want to emphasize a bit, why must be Canadian ginseng among all of the product? Surprisingly, after we done some research, it stand out to be that beside high-tech stuff and all of the technology thing, Canada is very well known for ginseng. Surprisingly, this is one beside US. Canada and US are the only two countries in North America that are really famous in the ginseng global market. So this is the picture that I captured from the Ontario Ginseng Grower Association. That is one of the government agents body that recognized and regulated by the federal government. So technically, ginseng for years already famous, and it's been considered as rootman medicines. So it helps you to improve your vision, control your blood sugar level, control the cholesterol level, fix on the injured tissue or muscle. But surprisingly, one of the features that ginseng stand out to be very good and beneficial for men compared to women. Yeah, the low part. And a lot of doctors nowadays, even in the Western hospital, they advise men whenever they want to have baby to use it. 1 or 2 months prior to it, okay? And anyone want information, you guys can do online research by yourself. Sorry, I'm a little bit sensitive, but it's fluid. So this is the target market that we want to go to. So as on the two previous group have done great job in terms of introducing. This is the second largest economy in the world, and with a biggest middle class income and a huge demand for health product. So in 1962, under the government, the administration times of President Mao, GDP of China was only 46 billion US. Right now, under presidency, it's 13,000 billion US. So that's a 5% compound rate for the last 5 decades, a record that no country in the world have ever matched. So right now in China, the middle class, they account for 76%, nearly 1 billion. By far is the biggest middle class population in the world. And undoubtedly, their income has been rising. In China right now, a funny thing is that people, they have a concern for the environment. So after a few trips to China, don't be offended guys, if you go into big city, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou things, you stand in front of the street, like you go to the street during noontime, 11 or 12 p.m., you hardly can see the sun. That is how terrible the environmental problem right now there. That trigger huge demand for health product. That is why we believe solely, like firmly, into the potential growth for this vitamin supplement. So this is some of the screenshot captures of the some info data, a snapshot about the Chinese market.
We will not spend too much time on China's economy, considering everybody's quite familiar with Chinese economic growth. China has not very high GDP per capita, but it's growing very fast. And its urban dispensable income per capita is 39,000 yuan, which has always been growing. The population structure, well, a lot of population are between 25 to 54 years old. They are primary consumers, but not necessarily the user of our products, because those people, young people, will buy our products, ginseng, as a gift to their parents. So we've got some general information about China. So China's individual use of the internet has been going, well, very, very fast, from 8.5% in 2005 to 53%, almost half of the population are using internet in 2018. So that will affect the way how we promote our products. Yeah, so we will put a lot of money on internet promotion. And it's very noteworthy that the health expenditure per GDP is very, very low actually in China. Compared with most of the developed countries in the world, so most of them spend like 10% of the total GDP on health expenditure. Like the US spends 17% and Canada 10%. So China's expenditure on healthcare is relatively low. And the health physicians per 1,000 population has only 3.6 in 2018. So we can see there's potential demands for our health product ginsengs in China's market. And we're going to talk a little bit about China's social and digital factors, which has a very important influence on how we conduct business in China. So the first one is China has a very weak legal enforcement The local policemen, they are very reluctant to enforce the law, and they will not press charge to you when they consider it unnecessary. And another important problem is China's regulation and law. It's lack of transparency and is inconsistent. And like today, they can, well, what they do with what they've written on the laws is quite different. When they can say something and do another thing in reality. So that's has been a major impediment for foreigners, foreign businessmen conducting business in China. And the judicial system is non-independent and is appointed by the Central Committee and is heavily influenced by the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. So they're basically kind of biased and tend to protect their own domestic business. So as a result of malfunctioning of judicial system, they tend not to protect the intellectual property rights. Well, for example, Michael Jordan sued a Chinese company for using his name and logo illegally. Not until he loses many times in the local courts and appeal to Supreme Court of China, did he eventually win the court. So, but that's just a rare case and will not be a precedent of China's law, because China's law is based on continental laws, such as that in Germany and France, which is very different from common law. So they will not take the precedent in previous cases as an example for the cases after that. Another important thing is China's consumers has a very low confidence in not only state-owned brands, but most of the domestic brands are not trusted by Chinese people. For example, 3 years back, the poisonous milk powder, and recently the fake vaccine, which is produced by Chinese state-owned company. So we can see China seems to be a very profitable and lucrative market, but there's also been a lot of challenges and difficulties to do business in China.
So I will talk about SWOT analysis. First one is strengths. First strength is better quality. The large difference is the natural environment of the place of origin. The efficiency of the Canadian ginseng produced in China is far from the same. And the second, good cooperation. Ontario Growers Ginseng Association is a agricultural association regulated by Ontario and representing our producer of Ontario commodity ginseng. And the OGGA has already signed a strategic cooperation agreement with a company from China. And third is enough financial resources. And our investment will help us stay in the competitors and increase domestic and international market demand, and will strengthen Canada's scheme service. As a producer of high quality, safe, and clean Canadian grown ginseng. The reading is, first one is the production and design. Like the picture shows, there's about five steps, and the input cost is high. The total expense is about 500,000. It's include seeding, pre-seeding, production, and harvest, post-harvest, and machinery. Third one is selling price. Selling price is high because it's from of the origin of the sales terminal to the it's through we have go through port agents, provincial agents, municipal agents, and the distributors and other links. And these links, each of them have to change many hands at higher price. And opportunity, I will talk about those market demand and economic growth. With the continuous development of China's and development of people's living standard, people's consumption concept and consumption level of the life is transformed and improved. Under this opportunity, Canadian ginseng has a Canadian ginseng industry also developed rapidly. And someone is unfit for Asian ginseng, so they can buy Canadian ginseng. First one is counterfeit and shoddy products. There are many Chinese ginseng was packaged as product of Canada, and they often grow in China and being imported to the local stores and sells as Canadian ginseng. Think about that. A Chinese tourist comes to Canada and tries to buy a Canadian ginseng, but they are getting by the ginseng grown in China. So why don't they buy it in China instead of buy a 20-hour plan? The second is competitor. There's Asian ginseng and Wisconsin ginseng. They have different effects for the different people, and the Wisconsin ginseng has a higher price than Canadian ginseng. And third one is the trade relation between China and Canada. Any strategy has changed, it will affect economy significantly.
So with the rising of the China economy and technology, more and more business opportunity appear in front of Canadian businessmen and Canadian enterprise. So if we want to take more advantage from this huge, great opportunity, we have to know yourself and know your competitors. So I find that there's 4 cultural differences need to be considered during the sales situation. So firstly, establish the business for the first time. It is really important that you get a good connection with your customer. So you should clearly understand the company background and your product information that can show that how you familiar with your product and show you're confident about your service and product. For example, our product is Canadian ginseng, so it is very important to know all the information about the ginseng. So I list 3 things here you should know about it. First, deeply understand of what kind of the medical herbs that the company produce. For example, you should clearly know the feature and the benefit of the product, about how the vitamin goes to you. And secondly, which kind of medical herbs can be useful. And to get more detail with it, you should know how the vitamin, the ginseng, gonna affect the different age groups of people. For example, how it will affect adults or teenager or older people. And then lastly, you should accurate the position of our identity. When you get all of this information, you should try to contact your customer, and it is very important that never contact with your customer as an individual identity. Showing the decent manner when deal with the Chinese businessman can quickly bring you closer to them and help your company to build a good image. So Chinese will politely address you by your name or your title, and after you guys know each other for a while, you can call in by your first name as a friendly gesture. And for the dress, when you meet someone for the very first time, it is very according to the occasion. For example, men should wear the tie and suit, and the woman should wear the dress for the first time to show that you're taking serious about your potential relationship customer. But if after you guys know each other, if the meeting is arranged on the weekend, you can consider that wear the casual clothes as also. Meet and greeting, you should look them in the eyes while shaking the hands to show your sincerity. But it is important, just remember after you guys finish the communication, you should also shake hands to show your respect. For the first time, there's some negotiation skills I need to mention. Like firstly, because of the Chinese long-term traditional culture, do not easily compare the price with your competitors to achieve the purpose of lowering the prices. And secondly, during the communication, you should talk more about the future of cooperation and the development opportunities. But the most importantly, I want to address you guys on the third one. Be careful, do not negotiate too high an initial price. Chinese company may not tell you in person that you overcharge, or they never tell you directly that you overcharge. But they might remove you from the list of business partner forever. So of course it is very necessary to provide enough profit margin for the product or the services to customers. And the differences in the understanding of product and services. Firstly, focus on the quality of product and service is a common feature of Chinese companies. Secondly, it is important to know the local laws and the regulation. And of course, sometimes the enterprise and the customer might have the special requirements. If they mention this, you have to provide the planning strategy as soon as possible and fix it. The last one, don't sacrifice the quality of the product and the services in pursuit of the short-term profits.
So here's the list of the preferences. Thank you for listening.